everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Pike and Shot mod. So it's time to take out the Saxons. I've been able to divert them out away from the main castle. As we can see here, I've tricked their army to go chasing after these guys. This force, though smaller and more nimble, was able to get away, and so these guys find themselves far away from the capital, unable to protect it. So we've got Wallenstein being able to move in from the north, and then we've got this force, which I recruited down in Prague, where we got 5 units of 24-pounder howitzers, and then 5 units of arquebusiers ready to take on. So they lead the charge. And here we can see what the enemy has. Now the enemy has a lot of these cannons and stuff. The thing though is, they'll all be set to face one direction. If I'm just able to move to the side and deploy on the side, we should be able to move up, be able to fire into the castle, and deal as much damage as I want without suffering any casualties. And I'll be able to tear up their entire army without ever having set foot inside the castle. And then I could quickly move in and take control of it. So, in that sense, this should be a pretty simple battle. Over in Hanover, I'm ready to march across soon enough and attack Oldenburg. Oldenburg doesn't have a castle, so I don't have to worry about what kind of battle we end up when we fight that battle. Since Pappenheim has the better army, he has proper heavily armored pike units compared to the Dutch formations, which I find not as good. So Pappenheim will lead the charge and attack and take that out, and so with that, yet two more provinces fall to our control. In the meanwhile, we are building up, I was building up the army to go against the Transylvanians. However, the Ottomans come at us again and are once again laying siege to Belgrade. So the thing which I've kind of found that helps against the sort of crashing, the bug of the game kind of crashing all the time, is really never to sue for peace. Always be at war with everyone, more or less, or everyone that declare war on you. So, as long as I've been at war with basically everyone, it seems to be working fine. So, to combat the crashes, I have basically restarted a lot of the wars that I ended, and we got some extra ones. So, currently we're at war again with Russia, the Ottoman Empire, and then also, I think some of the smaller nations. I added on Transylvania, Oldenburg, I think I declared war on as well, and then also the Crimeans. Now, the Crimeans, I didn't actually declare war on. They declared war on me in support of the Ottoman Empire. So hopefully this will work, and as soon as this army is defeated, this army should be able, with its new troops, to take on the Transylvanians. I think though, because we've kind of seen, this, I'll do this off camera and we'll focus in on this, because I'm trying to end the series, right? We need to do something else. At the similar time, I'm really bringing it to the Ottomans. We have sent in the Sekban units to raid their countryside. So we've attacked one of the universities right here. We're gonna attack the mines here, and then we're gonna continue on to the university here as well. So we're gonna attack everything. Also, we've got this fleet ready to attack the trade route, although I do think the Ottomans don't actually trade that much. They don't trade at all, in fact. I think all the trade here is actually from the Crimeans. And so that is not super important. Coffee. What is the price of coffee? That is the wrong tab. Here we go. So the price of ivory and sugar has fallen quite a bit because I've been trading so much in it. I've been able to send so many ships to it that we have almost cotton now taken. Actually, tobacco is the number one at 40. No, 46 is still sugar, and cotton is the highest ones. Coffee is 31 and it's one of the lowest, but we don't have any coffee, so let's trade in some. I think we'll do more by trading coffee rather than attacking the Crimean trade route. And in so doing, the thing is, the Crimeans isn't that much of an issue. They're not going to invade. They've put two units at the border here, but that seems more to protect themselves than to attack us. So that shouldn't be a problem. And with that, you kind of understand the situation. And what I think we'll do today is we'll attack the Saxons. And we'll have ourselves, hopefully, a quite splendid and easily manageable siege. Here's the result of the battle. We ended up losing only about 200 men while the enemy lost their entire force. Now, I still spent about 45 minutes on bombarding and attacking that fort. I thought it was going to be a lot easier. Turned out, not so much. However, what we can see from the kills is that the howitzers are topping the scoreboard here with around 300 to 200 kills each. We have one which is actually the reinforcement one, which is already in the army of Wallenstein, moving up here. And also we can see the amount of chevrons. Actually, I think this one is the one that is in Wallenstein's army. All the other ones were freshly recruited. So this is Wallenstein's howitzers. Surely this will help a lot, as their accuracy is something to not that great. They're not that great, and so hopefully that improves. And maybe next time it won't take me 45 minutes to bomb out a Ansitzenry castle. With that, and Dresden now under our control, we should be able to look at Oldenburg and see if we cannot take that out as well. As we can clearly see now, we've moved on to winter. It's now February 1627, and we were able to successfully hold Dresden. I think the main point, which I've already, talked about, was the fact that, you know, at certain points in the campaign there's a few certain turns, or a span of turns, which was mentioned by the creator, that there's a high likelihood of it crashing on the end turn, and so I mistook the fact that I captured the town that led to the crash, when in fact it was just a crash that kind of occurs, or is easily occurred during those specific turns. So yeah, we should be able to take over everything, which should do very well. I mean, at this point, it's taken long enough for me to fucking, shouldn't swear, but it's taken me to realize this. Anyways, with me doing a few extra turns, an opportunity has arisen, not just the one that this one which we're doing here, but we have another opportunity which is arising from the east. Namely, there's a Polish army on the way. Now, the only enemy that I can think of them going towards is the Brandenburgers. The Polish, for some reason, decide to declare war on everyone constantly. Which you can kind of see why they end up in so much trouble every time. But they are probably going against Brandenburg. So this leaves me with two great options. If they were able to capture Berlin, that I could probably buy it from them, or trade provinces that they might actually like that is more connected to their own province, like say Moldova, or maybe even give up Western Prussia to them, because that's not a victory region that I need for Berlin. So that would be a great case. In case they don't capture Berlin, then they certainly will cut down the garrison quite a bit, since it's a full stack army that's moving here and they've got bloody howitzers and stuff, so that should be nice. So with them cutting down the garrison quite a bit, would make it easier for my troops to go in and capture it, which should be just wonderful. Then there also was the case of the Ottomans that were sieging Belgrade again. I did try and do the battle. It was pretty hard. I managed to win it, but the mod crashed. And so I decided, you know what, screw it. I'm not going to go through do this battle and, you know, with it possibly crashing. So what I did was I just sued for peace with the Ottomans again and pushed them back into their own territories. So in that, we paid them off basically 50,000 to not take Belgrade, and that frees up Piccolomini and his army. So he should be able and ready on his way to attack the vampires. So that should be just in time for campaign season, so we don't have to suffer in the snow up in the mountains. With that said, it puts us at a good footing on where we are going. This looks very good right now. What we've got is we're going to attack Oldenburg. Hopefully, we will be able to conduct this in one go. And that is why I'm going to charge in with the weaker army first, just because it's got weaker pikemen. So we're going to move in that one first, just to see if they charge out of the fort. Otherwise, we'll have Pappenheim move in and destroy it. So the hope is that they won't intercept us. I thought they weren't going to intercept us, but they did. Okay. They have intercepted us. And, I mean, the pikes, medium pike is absolute shit. I'm pretty sure even my swordmen can cut them down. They're very low on gunners. They do have this dragoon, and they do have a lot of pistolier cavalry. Ooh, that's not pistolier, that's harquebusiers. That's deadly. That's really deadly. They've got 6 units of harquebusiers coming in. That's a deadly force. Right, so but I do have tons of my own matchlock infantry, which should be able enough to stave off any attack by the harquebusiers and destroy them. And then, if case they were to, you know, be able to survive for a bit, I could send in my cavalry to deal with the rest of them. With that said, let's go ahead and fight this battle. And unfortunately, what it looks like is I'm going to have to fight 2 battles. So we're going to fight this one. The best thing, I think, actually for this battle is to have as many of the enemy units surviving the battle, retreating back to the castle afterwards. So that when Pappenheim attacks, he will attack not new, freshly raised garrison troops that spawn with the capital being under attack, but instead he will fight the remnants of whatever force comes out of this battle. So we'll have, you know, sort of all these cut down. The problem with this, of course, is the fact that they've got shit good morale with like 60 points for everyone, so it's highly unlikely that they'll retreat. But that would be the best option, I think. But none of this is coming to pass unless I actually fight the battle. So with that said, Johann Tilly will strike up the drum and march towards the doom of Oldenburg. Unfortunately, the battle with Tilly crashed not once but 3 times, so I'm trying a different angle where we are attacking with Pappenheim's army instead, so that's why we've got his army. It's still gonna be difficult. I, as I said, fought the battle commanding Tilly's army 3 times, and it crashed 3 times, and I guess roughly around the same time. It's the difficult part is, I mean, the cannons did a lot more damage than I thought they would do, because there's 18 of them. There are these garrison artillery that they use, so they've got 6 in each battery. And then I wasn't really able to find a good way of dealing with the enemy's Harkebusier cavalry, because those guys are very deadly. As a dragoon, I'm hoping actually to use my artillery to shoot down the enemy's Harkebusiers at range, and then also, of course, using my musketeer regiments to destroy them. These idiots have charged straight into our line and are getting destroyed. Okay, so they were not as mobile in the last battle, so this is kind of caused a little bit of an upset for me. They were not nearly as mobile. Oh. We will move these to try and deal with them as they're trying to move into our flank. And then the other 2 cavalry will be sent to deal with this Harkebusier. Otherwise, I think my line will hold. They're really hitting the edge of... we'll try and block them here by doing like this. But then I'm gonna put more troops towards this. Yeah, they're trying to... they realized what they've done, kind of locked themselves in. I'm gonna see about getting this one into square somewhere around here, and we'll hopefully capture those. Right, you will attack, you will sit, fire pistols in the back. And we'll see how that goes. Come on, do your damage already. Alright, it looks good. What you will do is we'll fire at the cavalry furthest away. So we're winning slightly. That's going to change as soon as we start to fire pistol in the back. Ooh, normally, I really love the damage of the Harkebusier. Here, they took out more than 100 men somehow. Were shot down upon my among my pikes. I don't even know if my pike unit will survive that fight over there. Meanwhile, all their stupid pike units are now attacking.
Our men are
Continuously fire on the general over there. Okay, so we won this fight. But now we have to deal with this one. This time around we changed it around, so this one's fresh. And now this one's winded, so this one will sit in the back, fire pistol. And this one will do the brunt of the melee damage then. Alright, we've moved into squares. Our gunners will... Actually, what I'll do is I'll do this. So I'll have 2 to fire there. And then you can go into this. And then you'll be on the side there. Alright, as soon as you're ready, you can go ahead and fire there. Damn that I lost a bloody square. That was... did not go as planned at all. But it looks as though at least the battle won't be crashing. Actually, what I'm going to do is we're gonna bring down the cannons, and we're gonna bring them down to the squares, and we're gonna use them to fire a canister. Let's see about breaking the enemy that way. It's just because the battle crashed before. Like my idea of trying to kind of not like completely kill the enemy forces are completely gone out the window now. Another bloody arquebusier doing tons of damage to me. Right, the square is back. Let's see if we can get 2 units up there. And then if you can run through that, it would be great. The enemy pikes are not really biting the way I kind of wanted them to. It's all pikes. So what I'll do is I'll order the cavalry to go through and then find and kill all their cannons. Or maybe the cannons is when I should leave enough of them that they'll come back in the second battle. Why are these not really going after me? I don't really get it. And why is it taking so long for my arquebusiers to fight the enemy? We're gonna get the general, we're gonna get him in here. Actually not. I can see cannon shots landing over here. I don't want him to go through that. Right, my cavalry is making it through. Gonna lose way too many men. I was hoping to use this one for the battle in the town, but that's not gonna be the case. Oh, they're making their own squares out there. Interesting. Continue to roll this forward. Just keep kiting the enemy unit. Alright. At this point I don't care. The Oldenburgers just need to go and die already. Why were they not firing? Did we finally get... No, that unit's still alive. We need to trap these on one of our squares, get the cannons up right next to it, and then just blast them. Right, make sure that all of it is gone. I don't have to worry anymore about my units getting killed by enemy cannons. We can drop the squares and start to advance. the pikes seeking to lock the enemy in melee combat with the square, and in so doing destroying them in the process. Alright, looks good. Looks like we killed enough of them. You can move back now. Okay, I think we have an opportunity to intercept this one over here. And possibly over here. Okay, we kind of got them over here. I'm gonna roll the cannons forward to that position. Get the gunners to advance along the pikes. Actually, you will hold right here as the medium pike unit there is running straight through our lines. Okay, we haven't really trapped these bastards, but we have trapped the unit over here. The thing though is, that is not the unit that we really want. It's not close enough to the units that I want to trap. Oh, look at that. That looks good actually. And that should be within canister range. Yes, that looks good. Get you to fire on the enemy general. Turns toward the Polish infantry. Okay, we're gonna have to be careful here with the canister. Make sure that we fire in the right direction. Okay, you know what? Just pick target at will, actually. They're like right in front here. Fire right at that area. And we were able to surround and kill that. Good, good. Continuous canister into that. That's exactly what I was looking for. And then we need to push some extra troops against the Polish unit. Actually, that's target for the cavalry, isn't it? Continuous canister is really tearing up these units. No chance whatsoever to protect themselves. And then you can set up in between. And then the two cavalry units. Strike. We'll probably see quite a good stat for the cannons in this battle. I'm not interested in... Shit. Charge. Way too close. You're speeding around. Oh, when did I tell this unit not to fire at will? We have the units actually marching around in this battle.
The men of the Teesprings must rest away.
Alright, let's see what the Polish infantry think of this. As they're surrounded on all sides. Would have been nicer if we'd had everyone prepared and ready to fire from the start. And looks like we are gold here as well. It's only that one little unit left. Oh, nice, it's running. Right, I want everyone kind of just marching after them. Kind of making sure they do not rally. And as soon as these guys are ready to give up, we'll order everyone to move away. Great. So we still kind of have a lot of units retreating. Unfortunately though, I think most of them are gonna die. Yeah, there's no point in trying to chase anything down because that would defeat the purpose of my plan. With that, the Oldenburg army was completely destroyed. I was hoping that I could kind of, not destroy them and they would kind of take up the positions where we wouldn't have to face fresh garrison troops afterwards. But, yeah, we completely annihilated the army. That's just as well. What it looks like, though, is, it's a garrison army. I'll do that one off camera, and it'll also make sure that if the battle crashes, like I won't. I've already spent too much on this episode in terms of crashes and stuff. we're talking hours and hours, really, on trying to complete this. So, really, it's been quite the hassle playing this, and also with the views kind of dwindling as well. I think we want to end this as soon as possible, and with that in mind, you know, to me, it doesn't really make sense to add on, you know, for the objectives to include taking over Denmark and also all the way Transylvania. That does not seem like really a main part of the 30 Years' War. The main thing is we have subdued the German princes that adopted Protestantism, and we are effectively having a real and functioning counter-reformation. And after Oldenburg is taken out, the only real holdout will be Berlin. And so Berlin, I'm thinking, will be like the final battle. However we do that, maybe what I could do is I could declare war at the same time as the Polish, and we could fight. So me and the Polish could both fight Brandenburg, and so we'll get like a combined army, which could be an interesting last battle to end this series on. Otherwise, you know, we are we've basically done it, right? We've completed the counter-revolution. Well, not counter-revolution, the counter-reformation. The Swedes are out. They, they're dealing with the Russians. There's probably going to be a problem in the future if you think of this as in a role-play sense. But in terms of, subduing the German princes, we have been successful. We only need to deal with Brandenburg, and then we're done. So I think that will be the end of the campaign. And now I've said gone over the same thing twice, which I have a nasty habit of doing. But yes, you know what? Let's just say it as it is, as I always say. Hopefully, you guys enjoy this, and hopefully, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.